In this video I want to install Alpine Linux on a Librebooted X200. So yeah, the X200 is this one right here. I have Librebooted it, I don't know, some years ago, so this is not the most up-to-date version of Libreboot, but yeah, it should work. I have a thumb drive with the, can you see this? Autofocus, don't fail me now. A thumb drive with the Alpine Linux ISO on it. I think it's not the newest one, because for the newest release there's not an ISO I found, but it's like 3.21 something. So yeah, I'm gonna go through an installation, just basic installation. Oh, with full-disk encryption, of course. Yeah, but we are not gonna encrypt boot. So this is just the boot partition is gonna be unencrypted, but the rest of the system is gonna be encrypted, because that's fine for my use cases, and it's fine I think for most use cases. Yeah, I might do another video where I do a complete full disk encryption, including boot, because that's possible with Librebooted, of course. But yeah, for this video, I'm just gonna do normal full disk encryption, or fake full disk encryption, if you want to call it that. All right, so yeah, let's get started. The Alpine Linux installation is pretty straightforward. So let me see. Okay, can you see this? Yeah, should be fine. All right, no, should not be fine. All right, let me adjust the camera. All right. Okay, so here we have the Libreboot splash screen. If autofocus does its thing. Yeah. Alright, so we want to, of course, boot from the USB. Alright, so I don't know why, but for some reason my X200 takes like forever to boot from a USB, so I might just cut this out and come back to when it's booting. Alright, so finally it's booting after like, I don't know, an eternity. Again, I don't know why it does that and what's wrong, but maybe I should update my Libroot. But yeah, so it has finally booted. Let me zoom in a bit, because so you can see. Yeah. Yeah, so right here. Alright, so on Alpine we can just log in as root without having to put in a password. Oh, it's not. Okay. Yeah, so again, the setup is pretty simple. We basically only need to run one command, and that is this one right here, setup Alpine. If you can see that, setup Alpine. But before we do that, we have to set one environmental variable, and that is for the bootloader, because Libreroot doesn't work without grub. So we need to set the bootloader to grub, because by default Alpine uses, I think it's a syslinux, something like that. Right, so we can type export bootloader equals grub, and if we now echo bootloader, we get grub. Alright, so far so good. Let's call setup Alpine. First we ask for a keyboard layout. I'm gonna choose you as Dvorak, because that's what I use. Yeah, next is the host name. Can you see that? Yeah, alright. The host name, so I'm gonna say X200 Alpine. Next is gonna be network interface. We have a wired connection right here. Oh, you can't see that, but yeah, it's a wired connection. So yeah, Ethernet 0, DHCP. We don't need any wireless. Yeah, so this will hopefully work. Yeah. All right. Our password for root, I'm gonna just say root. Yeah. Time zone. I'm in Europe and Berlin. Well, I'm not in Berlin, but in the time zone. No, we don't need any proxy. Yeah. We want to set our time correctly. Next is gonna ask us for our APK mirrors or mirror. Oh. Why doesn't this work? Let's just choose. Let's just say okay. Seems like I don't have an internet connection. Let's check on this. Well, no. Alright, I'm gonna fix that and be right back. Alright, so I've fixed the problem, I think. And yeah, the problem, so this X200 is actually pretty bad, because as you saw when I was booting, it took like minutes to actually boot from the drive, from the thumb drive, and I think the Ethernet on this machine is also, yeah, not working reliably. So yeah, so I've just I'm using my phone with USB tethering for internet now, so I think this should work. So well, maybe not. All right, so now I hope it worked. Yeah. We're not gonna set up a user. I'm gonna do this later after we've rebooted and set up the system. SSH server, yeah, we can go with OpenSSH. Yeah, sure. All right, so this is actually the most interesting part, because now we have to select the disk we want to install on and do the partitioning, or rather let the partitioning be done. So we're gonna say SDA, of course. So we only have one drive in here, and that is this Samsung SSD 840, which is a 128 gigabyte drive, right? And this is, yeah, so this is the partitioning step. So we have several options for how we want to use this disk. So, and these are not all the options, which is kind of, yeah, I don't know. So if we type question mark, we get all the options listed with a description for each. So sys is like the normal partitioning with boot and root and swap. And data is like for data drives. Crypt is, it will encrypt the entire disk and then ask again for sys or data. And I've not tried this out, but you could probably, with Librebooted, you could probably select crypt and then after that sys, and then do some additional setup to have a entire full disk encryption, so a true full disk encryption, and not with like an unencrypted boot drive, yeah, or unencrypted boot partition. And there are some more setups with LVM, but we're gonna choose crypt sys. So it's gonna do the same as this, but enable encryption for the root and the swap. Yeah, so let's do that, crypt sys. Yeah, erase the entire disk. Set up a password. Alright, so I've put in my password and put it in again and put it in again to actually like decrypt and mount the encrypted drive. So now it's gonna install grub, because we've specified grub as the bootloader, and then it's gonna also do the rest of the installation. and I've used a real password, so that's the reason why I've cut that part out. But I think you can change the password afterwards, so this was kind of unnecessary, but yeah, whatever. Just put in your password, put it in again, and then put it in again, and you're fine. And yeah, that's it. So we're done. Again, as you can see, some grub stuff, so it actually uses grub. And it tells us installation is complete, please reboot, right here. So yeah, that's it. I'm just gonna do that. So we're gonna type reboot, and it's rebooting. And we're back to the Librebooted screen, of course. Alright, so pretty straightforward. I think the installation is one of the easiest installations. Yeah, and let's verify that it actually worked. So it shows us the grub screen, and it's actually booting the system. Alright, so it asks us for the disk encryption password, so let me put that in. Yeah. So OpenRC starting and doing all the stuff with services. Oh yeah, and again it's kind of hanging with the whole network thing. Yeah, so Ethernet 0 is the wired connection on this machine, and Ethernet 1 is the connection over USB with with my phone and USB tethering. So yeah, in a normal setup with a machine that actually works, you of course wouldn't have to deal with this. So yeah, it gives us a login prompt. We're gonna log in as root, and yeah, that's it. So we have a system, we have a full Alpine Linux system now. And if we do apk add util linux, because lsblk is not installed by default, temporary error. Oh yeah, first off we need to apk update, I think. Yeah, and then we're gonna do Linux. I just want to show you the partition setup, if it lets me do that. Maybe. Maybe not. Alright, so I mean it doesn't really matter. I can show you this either way. So we have a SDA1, I think it is the unencrypted boot partition, and then we have a SDA2, which is the encrypted let me move my arm, encrypted root partition and swap. So this is actually an LVM container containing a what's it called, a volume group, and we can also look at that if we do def mapper. I think it's vg0. Oh no, it's if we do vg0, yeah. So this is the volume group, so VG volume group, and in here we have like logical volumes, and these are these LV underscore root and LV underscore swap. So yeah, that's the partition setup. Alright, so I finally got it to work. I forgot to actually activate USB tethering on my phone. So yeah, right here you can see we have SDA, so that's our drive. SDA1 is the boot partition, SDA2 is the root partition, and we have like two logical volumes. So VG swap, VG root. The swap is the swap, the root is the root, and the SDB is just the thumb drive I still have in here. So yeah, that's it. And yeah, that's it. That's the installation. And after that, of course, you have to set up a user, set up like a graphical environment, set all the stuff up to actually to be able to use this laptop as a laptop and not just a minimal Alpine box. Alright, but I'm gonna show you that in another video. So that's it for this video. I hope this was useful, and yeah, have a nice day.